Welcome, everybody, to On My Bull and our 2022-23 Chicago Bulls season preview. I'm the one and only John J. And with me, as always, is the charismatic and enigmatic D Snow from the Go.
What's good? Welcome to the 22-23 season. I'm excited. Coming off a playoff season, man. How you feeling, baby?
Wonderful. And as always, we bring you a real fan's perspective on those legendary Chicago Bulls. Now, last season, our Bulls ended a 5-year playoff drought in a season filled with big-time highs and big-time lows. So sit back and feel free to comment as well as like and subscribe and share to the On My Bull podcast to join in on the conversation. So D Snow, first up, Zach Lavine, big bank. It is $215 million contract. Will that man live up to max player status?
I have always been a Zach Lavine fan. I say yes. I think he has a chance to really come on out, continue to play well this season, and carry on what he did last season, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to have to agree with you. I think he's already been a max player. He was balling on a budget. We had him for the low. Yeah. So, I mean, that man been putting up 24, 25 a game for about 3 years straight. So he legit. We had matter of fact, the year before last, he put up 27 a game, and he was hurt almost the whole season last year. So I'm expecting big things from Zach. I think he takes over as the top scorer.
I think we got him for a deal too.
Yeah.
Look at all the numbers getting handed out.
Yeah, no doubt. I dig it. And once again, they done it again. They done gave DeMar Derozan some more bulletin board material. I don't know if you heard, but Bleacher Report labeled him as one of the 5 most overrated players of the last 10 years. And if you're watching, there will be a link in the description to that article if you want to see it for yourself. But Snow, do you think DeMar will regress this year, or you think he's going to continue that resurgence?
One, I think that's a slap in the face. That dude, if you watch basketball and if you're into the NBA, if you watch DeMar Derozan over the years, he's always been a guy. He wasn't a guy that was, really, really high talked about when he came out of college. He played his way into who he is. Down in Toronto, he made a name. They still love him down there. He went out to San Antonio and he just did what he had to do, kept his mouth closed, no trouble. You've never heard about him in the press. He's the kind of NBA player you want to see. The numbers he put up for the Bulls last season, what he did for us, the heart and soul he gave us. Come on, man. Like, that's not given. The only other player that you can say out there that's probably doing what he's doing at his age and thriving is he's as a Jimmy Butler. They're in that same type of range of type of 2-guard. Hard-nosed, giving to you every night, going to play every night, and going to be a team player wherever they are. So, yeah, man, I think he's gonna have another good season. The only thing I am worried about is what he's 32, going into 33 years old. He is getting older. He has some miles on his, on those wheels, but I think he's a great player. And I think because he complements off of what Zach, Zach was hurt for some games last year. Zach was hurt a lot. First, he was gone for some games, plus he played hurt, So with the combination of that, we didn't get a full Zach season. So I'm looking forward to both of them being healthy and playing well.
Yeah, no doubt. I also think he's going to have a big year. I will say, though, just naturally because they want to move the ball a little bit more and have a little bit less hero ball down the line, he might have a drop in points a game. I see Zach going up because of the injuries last season. He's healthy this year, so I see him going up and taking over the lead as the scorer. But I think the efficiency will be just the same. DeMar is going to have still a big year. He's still a dog, and he's going to be motivated by this, without a doubt.
I don't even understand why they put that news out there, but that's what that does. We need it with especially with us having injuries in the beginning of the season. give us a reason to go out there and play a little harder. Give one of our best players, our all-star from last year, some bulletin board, material, plus a chip on his shoulder to just show that he's still a great player.
They threw some logs on that fire. So shout out to Bleacher Report. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So how bad do you think the early absence of Lonzo Ball is going to hurt this team to start the season? And do you think Ayo can handle that burden?
Well, put it like this. If you go and you watch our other pod we put together, just talking about, the season review and, what we thought the Bulls were going to be, I really think the Bulls could be a top 3 team with Lonzo. That's the type of team we were last year. We really found something in our 3-guard play and everybody else that was in there. With him in there, it hid the deficiencies of Vooch, because he played great defense. He blocked shots. He was back on defense a lot. He did a lot at that size that people don't understand that the Lonzo Ball does. So not having him does take away a piece that can make other pieces look better. So, yes, I think it is going to hurt us. That's why I think, depending on we're talking about the legs, man. So legs, when he comes back, he's still going to need time to get his feet back under him, get comfortable, get confident. So, I think it is going to hurt us.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're top 3 or 4 team with him. Without him, he moved that ball, man. He had that offense popping.
Great point guard. The only guy I've ever compared to Jason Kidd. The only guy I've ever compared to Jason Kidd. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and his defense as well. And that 3-point shot was coming along, 40+% over the last couple seasons for him.
Oh, net flash.
But I do see a big improvement from Ayo. He got the early nod as the starter. It's already been announced, so there's not that worry over looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw from him in the preseason. He was quick to pull that shot. He wasn't as timid as we've seen in the past. He put in a lot of work with Debo this offseason, and you can see that. He's aggressive and he's stronger too. So we'll see. He might. I think he can shoulder some of that load, but there's no replacing Lonzo. Say what you will, Lonzo he got that bag for a reason. He deserves it.
And I think Ayo's a great player, and he's building off of continuously being in positive situations, and that's where the Bulls are finally at. Where now we can build off a positive season. Yeah, we had some ups and downs. We had injuries, but we're building now. We're finally building. We're not just in building mode. And so that's what it's all about. So I think Ayo can, and we still got 3 solid point guards. And that's the thing. It's not like, yes, we're losing a great player. Yes, that's money on our books with Ball. But it's not like, okay, dang, now we got a big hole. We actually got some great players that can, it's just as long as injuries don't continue to hit us like last season, where they can pick it up and we won't be hurt there at all.
Yeah, no doubt. So that man Vooch, man, after last season, he took a lot of hits, man. It was a lot of hate out there, a lot of trade Vooch comments from the fans and all kinds of stuff of that nature. But Vooch had a strong preseason, man. He showed that aggression that we've been looking for. So do you see him carrying it throughout the year?
Truthfully, I think Vooch is probably one of the only players we got on our team that doesn't hear the chatter. He's not, an American guy like that. He's probably not from what I know, he doesn't have a Twitter handle. He doesn't, So even though we all out here talking bad about him, Vooch is going to still give us that same European game. He's going to come out there. It's going to be nice. He's going to give us 20 and 12 with 5. It's going to be nice. He's going to be off. I actually love Vooch's game. I love what he brings. He stretches out our defense, especially when he plays the 4 or the 5. He's bringing out that center or that power forward, and he's hitting that shot for us. In the clutch, he's not afraid to shoot. I love a guy that's not afraid to shoot because we deal with so many guys that are afraid of, a la Ben Simmons, that, oh, my God, and what I'm going to give it up. Vooch is not afraid to put up a shot in a clutch moment. So I do love that about him. We don't really know what he does during the summer. I don't know what he did to get better. I don't know if but as long as he continues to just play hard and give us what he gave us last year, that same European game, hard-nosed, shots, defense, he's, rebounding. I always talk to you about that when we're watching the games together. We need a double-double every night, at least 15 and 10 from him. And as long as he can give us that more, hey, we are not looking to be a big browsing team. We are a scoring finesse team. That's what we are now. So let's roll with it. Let's be finesse. Let's hit our mid-range. Let's hit our corner threes. Let's stick close. You notice our shot chart stays close to the basket. We don't shoot a lot of long, stupid shots that we see from the NBA. You know, I remember, what's the guy's name I used to talk about? I couldn't wait till we finally let him go. Now he's not for nobody. The kid that played for Michigan State. And then we drafted him. And this kid used to come out shooting from almost half court all the time. And I used to be upset. His name's on the tip of my tongue. We'll talk about it on another one. But I always bring him up too. And I always bring this guy up too, man. I need to quit jumping on him because he's going to find me one day. Like, hey, man, what you got against me? But yeah, man, I love our shot. I love our shot choices. I think that's so important moving forward. You know, that's the type of game we play, and we have to stick to that.
Yeah. Well, I will say about Vooch, for one, he actually is active on social. I have seen that. He even came back, I believe, at Media Day and made a joke about I'm still here. He got a sense of humor. I mean,
that is crazy.
He went to USC. He Americanized. Okay. He big time Americanized. But a good season for Vooch. Like you said, I think about 18, 12, 4. I like that. His defense looked a little bit more strong, aggressive. He had a couple good blocks, some steals. Nice all-around game from Vooch. If I could just see his energy throughout the season, I'm happy. He's not always going to hit the big shots. It probably won't average over 20 again just because you're the third scorer now, and I'm fine with that. You'll have some 20-point, some big output games.
I don't know how much we average, though.
We'll see. I mean, if he does average 20, then sky's the limit for the squad.
Because we actually played well. I mean, I think last year was a gelling year for us. And I think, this was Vooch's second year with us. A lot of these guys, either second or first year. So this year, because we didn't make a lot of changes, I think that's going to really help him as well. Because he's been moved around a lot in his career. That's why
I was all for that continuity. The championship teams, they got that chemistry developed. And that was a big need for us. I saw too in the offseason, a lot of players got together with DeMar, and they worked out together a lot this offseason. So I like that continuity. We saw some other changes to the starting lineup in this preseason with Pat Williams coming off the bench. What do you see as his role this season, and can he win back over all of the fans?
I mean, he needs the minutes. And yes, he does have to perform when he's out there. Last season, he did it, and that's the thing. Okay, it's different if we've never seen him play well. We've never seen him step up and put in a 30-point game. We actually saw this kid come out and show aggression. So, the one thing I always say is, like we talked about, it was the preseason. We'll see what happens as the season gets along, but he's already showed us he can do that. So it's just about him getting that opportunity and putting him in the right position. I mean, I think the Bulls are going to surprise a lot of people this year as long as we stay healthy. It's because his health is when it comes to any team. So that's important no matter what. But I really think no matter what, as long as we are healthy, I think that we are going to surprise some people. I think Pat has a chance to, 15, maybe 7 boards, 4 assists. Because he's one of those guys who's going to attract them double teams once he gets going. But I really think he can give us double figures this year as long as he's averaging 20 to 25 minutes or more. He needs that. We need him in that position. Let's just be honest here. Who is our number 1-3? Unless we're gonna run, DeMar to 2, and then Zach at the 3. How they gonna really run it. We'll see how that. What the actual starting lineup will be when the season starts. But that's what is really going to matter, his minutes.
Yeah, I will say that I wish that he had solidified that job at this point. He should. I know he had that injury, but he also came back and had good playoff minutes. I think there is no excuse for him not to have had solidified that spot at this point. With that being said, though, I did like the look in the preseason grain of salt, preseason. But I liked seeing Javante starting at the 4, even though he's undersized. So it depends on the matchups. But Pat with that second unit was fun to watch. Him, Io, a little bit of Dalen Terry, who we'll get into later. A little bit of the big man, Andre Drummond. I like that look. He was a lot more aggressive seeming with that lineup. And I think it's playing with Vooch, playing with DeMar, playing with Zach, these guaranteed scores, he just regresses. He just goes into a shell and will defer. But in that second unit, he got his chest poked out a little bit more. So that maybe that's going to be the role for him.
I mean, if you remember, those are the guys he played with last season. Minus the new guys that we've added in there. But, I mean, it's about feeling comfortable out there as a ball player. We all know that. And he's still young. So it's, to me, if we're going to keep him and we're going to continue to develop, he doesn't have to start. Yeah, we all want that. But it's about Pat. I want to get the best player that we can get out of Pat. And if this is what it's going to take, let's do it. Because at the end of the day, we know he's going to turn around and he's going to be able to be that starter we need one day. It's just about giving him that time. He 21, 22, and his game is getting better. We've seen it. We know what he has. But I think it's about the shot selection and how things go because, okay, let's be 100%. Zach sometimes kind of goes up on his own little thing and it's not fluid. So when those times come, Pat kind of, DeMar kind of knows how to understand and what to do with that. Like, you got to know how to continue to get yours. Pat, okay, now be an offensive rebounder. Throw a pick, So I think it's just about more opportunities, him getting comfortable with everybody. And that's what we just talked about, minutes playing together in the real game, and he hasn't really had that with them yet. So it just takes time.
Yeah. So one player that was a hot topic pretty much all last season.
Coby.
Coby. Can he finally be the player we hope and need, or will he be a likely trade deadline chip?
Trade him. I've been saying it for 2 seasons. Trade Coby White. Listen, as soon as his shot looks good and he starts to play well like he did last season, let's get what we can get for him. I don't know why, but for some reason, I just don't get it from Coby White. I think he's a decent player. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying that. I think he's a great player. He has a nice fluid shot. He just doesn't belong with us. We can get a piece for him. I think he's just he's undersized. He doesn't play defense. It's just he's a liability on the court. Now, when he's on fire and he's playing well and we're moving the ball well, he does fit in well. But he's a liability to me. We have 2 great point guards that are still here. When we get Lonzo back, he's in the way. And that's how I look at him. Just being honest, man, I think we need to trade him as soon as the right thing comes along, even if it's just a good draft pick, because it's some good things that's going to happen next season. And it's a lot out there. We need to find a nigga. That's
why I think I'm gonna jump in right there.
Okay.
I'm not totally against the trade, I wasn't last year either. It was for the right piece. And like you said, for the right piece. It depends on what we can get for Coby. I mean, I will say in his defense, this year was his first full healthy offseason in his career. I love the aggressiveness I seen from him in the preseason, grain of salt. But if he can keep that up, we don't have a whole lot of shooting. Coby is our next best shooter, probably behind Vooch. So if you're giving him up, what are you bringing back? Shooting was our problem against the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm a little reluctant just to give him away. I do agree he should be more than what he is at this point. He's not Ben Gordon, but he could still come in and do that role. I just want to see that aggression, that early on, just pull that thing. I saw one game he had 2-3 straight step back threes in the last game. Let me see that. He got a nice crossover. He's fast. When he attacks, there's not a whole lot of people that can stay in front of him. Defensive liability, I agree. He's not the only one. There's a couple other Bulls that's like that. But I'll take it if I can get consistency from that jumper. But if we got to move him, we need some more shooting back.
What I'm looking for, if it's possible, and I'll throw Pat in there if they want it. If Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are on the table somehow, and we can pry them away, if they're willing to take Coby and Pat and something else, we got enough to play with. Imagine adding Buddy Hield and Miles Turner to what we have.
I wouldn't be mad with it. I wouldn't be mad at that.
And I know that's just off the wall.
It would be interesting though, because I don't see that happening within the division.
Yeah, I can see that too. I'm not been a Coby fan for a while now, as you know. You won me over with him a little bit last season, but then he just fell off the map bad, and right when we needed him too. And and the thing is, that was kind of like that sophomore wall for him, so that's why I can't hold it against him. We'll see what happens.
If it's working and that jumper is falling, I wouldn't be against re-signing him. But
that jumper's falling. He gives me vibes of Ben Gordon.
If that jumper is falling, that's exactly what we need. Gives me that type of
vibe. Like, if you can give us that hot 25 to 30 out of nowhere, now we're a different team, But you got to.
So I'm more just curious to see what this first official offseason for him looked like. Let's see if it paid off. That's all. We got some new pieces, a couple new pieces. Andre Drummond and Goran Dragic. Will they be the missing pieces?
I mean, we actually get to get D-Rose poster on our team.
I know, right?
And that was funny. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool how, they shot the question at him during the press conference when he introduced them and he had fun with it. He didn't, take it bad, so I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I've always liked both players. I've always been a big Drummond fan. I'm excited to see what they can do for us, especially Drummond bringing in shooting, rebounding, defense, size. I mean, I think he's a very underrated signing. Out of all, what happened off season, that was a pretty big signing for us, seriously. Because, like you said, he can make up for what Vooch doesn't do.
I agree. He brings that interior presence that Vooch has, but tends to step outside more. I like Drummond. I think that is an underrated move. I think he's going to eat up a lot of boards and give us a lot of second chance opportunities, which we severely lacked. His defense could be better, but he is good at finding block shots. He will use his length and his size to his advantage. So I did that.
Three. I didn't even know that. I didn't know he could shoot the three.
Man, don't start shooting as much as Vooch, but every now and then we'll see.
Still, like, that was just shocking to me. Like,
yeah, it's a small little part of his game. But Goran Dragic, I like the leadership signing. I don't think he's gonna see as many minutes as he wants to see, but him and Caruso, I think, will do wonders for that backup, that second string, second/third. Yeah, they gonna keep the ball moving. Goran still he still work. He's still out there moving. Dragic, and the jumper is decent. Yeah. So I like the moves. I definitely think those were good chemistry pieces that should fit in. They had a draft pick that got hurt and is going to be out for the season. I hate to see him gone, but I was surprised that we didn't get any of Marco hardly after a big summer and us needing another big down there coming off the bench. I was surprised that we didn't see too much of him. And I wonder, is he going to start off in the G League or will he make the roster? What do you think? Where's Marco?
I mean, the thing about it is we don't have any tape on him, Like, I can't even really, the only thing I can watch is what I've seen from overseas, but I need to see him in the game. I need to see, So like you just said, I think there's a chance he might go to the G League to get some minutes. Because, I mean, we could use him now, which old school, I would put him out there. Let's see what he could do.
I was surprised. I was surprised with it. He had a great. I know it's summer league and all that. But he had a great summer.
Yeah.
He had a great G League last year when he played down there. He balled out, and we need a big. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just in practice not showing up. Does Billy just not like him? I wonder what is the issue, because he fits a role.
Playing down low for us. Then he's 6'6".
Who?
Derrick Jones. He be playing down low for us.
For real. He frail. He about 50 pounds.
He looks so long. It's just weird. He looked like he's 6'10", but he's not.
Yeah. Yeah. So
no,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Marco is that undercover guy that nobody. I mean, we don't know. We don't know where he fits in, you know. But yeah. I mean, I can see if somebody getting foul trouble, we need to put him out there and see what he can do. I mean, we bought him over here for a reason. He has game, so
yeah, I want to see. So what type of effect do you see from our rookie first round pick this year, Dalen Terry? What type of effect you see him making on the roster?
I really think he has a chance to come in and take Ayo's minutes. Let's be honest here. If he can come in and play the way he plays and give that energy, play great defense. I mean, I love his game. I love his energy and his tenacity. And that's the thing that Coby is he's just this mild-mannered guy. Like, even if you're not playing well, at least give us some energy. You know, he just always got that same look on his face. And
so did you mean Coby's minutes? You said Ayo's minutes.
That's what I meant. That's what I'm so sorry. I didn't mean Ayo. I meant Coby's minutes.
All right.
I thought I said Coby. Yeah.
Okay.
I see him taking Coby's minutes. Seriously. I see him coming in and taking Coby's minutes.
Strong possibility. I want to see how good that jumper can be, but yeah.
But if that jumper, if he can hit that mid-range and hit that corner three, it's the same shots that we're asking Coby to hit. If he can hit those plus the other things and bring that energy to the game that he brings, oh man, I think he has a chance to not only play well, but to really be in that. Maybe see him in the rookie game and stuff like that. I think he has that type of game. He is one of those. I am starting to believe in the AK system, bro. I wasn't a big fan, because I'm like, who is this guy we bringing in? But guys told me a lot about AK. I had to do my own research. I mean, what he brings in, the guys he draft. I mean, he's a great evaluator of talent. I got to give him his props.
Didn't he put up like 40? Didn't he put up like 40 or 50 in one of these off-season tournaments this off-season?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it was the Drew or it was one of these tournaments that he went crazy.
He has that bounce to his game, that confidence that these young guys have. And it's just about being able to fit that into the system.
I see an Ayo type of impact, how Ayo was last year. He wasn't expected to have a big role, but then he brought so much energy and intensity that Billy just couldn't look away. I see that. I see Terry earning it. The defense and his energy is contagious.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I almost feel like he can have, I know, way different type of player, but as far as just that emotion that the city loves, a Joakim Noah type of impact emotionally on the city.
Yeah. Pull it out the crowd.
Yeah.
He bring that energy to the game.
He got that fire.
That's what I like about him, man. He is another one of those kids I didn't know a lot. I didn't know a lot about Pat when we drafted him. So that was a surprise pick for me too. And we saw with the game we got from him. And Terry, he's another one of those guys where, man, once you got a chance to see him, and then he fits well. And that's the thing I love. We're picking guys that fit well into our system. We're not just grabbing players off of, okay, this guy's the best pick at this position, Yeah.
So,
I'm excited to pick.
Yeah, I think he will earn himself some minutes, some big minutes.
That bench mob, baby.
I'm glad you said that. So judging by the energy from this second string that they brought, do we have a new bench mob? Will they bring it?
Hey, it's going to be exciting. I mean, put it like this. We got Pat, plus we kept Malcolm Hill. I love that pickup, Illinois product. Derrick Jones catching oops. Got Alex Caruso, which is the fan favorite. So it's going to be crazy. The bench is going to be heralded. We actually have a full complete team, man. We actually have a full complete team. The pieces we added is really, really going to help us with the deficiencies we had last year. The two guys we just talked about, Terry and Drummond, those guys are going to make us a totally different team. And I can't wait to see the lobs and the excitement, the Caruso and the headbands. It's gonna be crazy in the United Center.
Yeah, I love the Drummond pickup. I think that was big. That was crucial and very underrated. In fact, before we traded for Vooch a season and a half ago, Drummond was the guy I wanted. Well, now, with that being said, I didn't know Vooch was even on the trade block at the time.
Before he went to Cleveland.
But yeah, Drummond was that guy. I was hoping that we was gonna have him. So that worked out. I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, I kind of do think we got a new bench mob, especially if Pat ends up coming off the bench as well. Drummond and Pat and Dragic and Terry and Caruso. Yeah, that ball moving. I like it.
Because to me, at the end of the day, I turn around. I would love to start Drummond, but he's going to probably still play starters minutes. He's probably going to still play 30 to 40 minutes a game in that range, probably 32, 33. Watch. He's going to be up there.
Yeah, him and Vooch definitely going to split ample time.
I think they're going to play together some too, because we're going to play against some big – the East is big, man. Let's talk about it for a second. In our division, Cleveland, Detroit, freaking Milwaukee, like all these guys, they got some big guys down low. We can't play size. Small.
We keep trying to do this small ball thing. I'm with you on that. But yeah, I definitely like the speed and the energy and the youth mixed in with some good vets. So I'm for that. I think that bench is going to be a huge commodity for us this season. Yes, so we open up the season Wednesday at Miami, then Friday at Washington before we come back home Saturday against those new look Cleveland Cavaliers. So after week 1, how does it look for our squad?
2-0 going into that Saturday game. That Saturday game is going to be cracking at the United Center. I wish I could be there. It's going to be crazy. I think we're going to put it on Cleveland. It's going to be a great game. I think we're going to start out 3-0. I really think we're going to come out playing well because we have a team that's been together. We got guys that's been playing together. They've been getting better together over the summer. And I just really believe that, that first burst, you know how it goes. I think we're going to start out 3-0. I really, I'm seeing that. I think Miami, we're gonna beat up on them. Washington is gonna be a good game because I think Washington is gonna be another team that's a team that we didn't get no love to today.
They got some pieces with a healthy Beal.
They have a chance to knock one of those 8 through 10 teams out of the playoffs if they play well. But we got to see because Beal's already dealing with injuries. So that's why I'm thinking we're gonna beat up on them ourselves because if Beal doesn't play, without Beal, that's a whole different team. That's a blowout for us. So yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, I think that's a strong possibility. I tell you what, I'm excited to see. I can't wait for that Saturday, that new addition to the rivalry. That's going to be fun. But I'm going to get a home crowd the advantage in that one. So I'm with you. I like that look. So final seed predictions in the Eastern Conference for our squad. What do you see us falling come playoff time if we make it in?
I don't think we'll be in the play-in. I think we will stay up there. I think we're going to have another great season, probably somewhere in that 47 to 50 win range. I think we can do it again. I think we can still have another good season, probably end up that 5-6 spot like we were this year. I think we could be higher, but it's just really tough in our division. And we're going to get beat up some games. We have a good team, but there's some better teams out there, so I think it's just going to be tough. I think it's going to be a lot of teams that their record's going to be really close, and we're going to be one of them.
Yeah, I think with a healthy Lonzo, we'd be higher up. But I do see us remaining probably in that 6th spot this year. But maybe he comes back in the second half and gives us a nice spark, and we have the opposite effect of what happened last year when we had the losing streaks.
And if this video ever gets out there and Lonzo sees it, man, hey, we love you, Lonzo. We wanted to draft you. Am I lying, bro? We wanted you drafted. We wanted you when the Lakers let you go. We love you.
Yeah, we on 2-3 occasions.
Not just us, but the brass. Like Chicago loves you. So we can't wait to get you back. What he brings to our team It is unbelievable what he brings back. I love him. I still think he's better than his brother. I think Melo's a great player, but Lonzo is a great point guard. He's a floor general. And
yeah, Melo's a star. Melo gonna be the bigger star, but yeah, Lonzo is the better general, better leader.
Sure.
So any final thoughts on the squad this year? Expectations? What specifically looking for? What you got?
Well, I've been a fan longer than you, so it just feels good to not be a bottom dweller, to not be okay, this is probably the first season where I'm mad that we're not tanking.
Man.
This is probably the first time as a Bulls fan that I'm not like, dang, I wish we had a horrible team and we were tanking, because the future is bright and it is upon the horizon and it's big.
And for those of y'all who are hoping for the tank, which we definitely know is not coming, we know that the Bulls do not own their first round pick unless it falls into the top 4. And that's from the Vooch trade. If we have such a bad year and that pick turns into the top 4, we can keep it. We got that. It's protected. But other than that, we now don't have that pick. But we are hoping the Portland Trailblazers make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, we get their pick from the Derrick Jones trade. But that's lottery protected. If they're in the lottery, they keep it. So that's what we hoping for this year.
The speculations on these picks.
If y'all didn't know that, we hoping that the Blazers make the playoffs this year. So Bulls fans, root for Dame this year. Show him some love. Let's see if him and Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant can get us a pick, an extra pick, or our only first round pick next year. We need that. So yeah,
I'm excited, man. It feels good to be relevant. We're relevant, and that matters. Each year we're building towards something. We have a good enough team, to actually make some noise. Yeah. Yes, there's some better teams than us out there, but you know how to roll the dice. You never know what can happen. That feels good as a fan when you can say that about your team.
Yeah, and we'll see if come trade deadline where we at. If it's all jumbled up, let's see if AK gets aggressive and makes a move. Let's see if he still got that no trade label on Pat. Does that happen if Pat comes off the bench? So let's see. Hopefully this year the Bulls can build on last season's success and surprise a whole bunch of people. And it all starts this coming Wednesday night. So from us here on my Bull podcast, let's go Bulls.
Let's go Bulls, man. Get to a great season. Peace out, y'all. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe.
Yes.